สวัสดีค่ะ A very good morning everyone, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and geotechnical experts from across Southeast Asia and beyond. Welcome to the 21st Southeast Asian Geotechnical Conference and the 4th Association of Geotechnical Society in Southeast Asia Conference and the 9th Geotechnical Conference 2023. And once again, welcome all of you to Thailand, the land of smile, and to the beautiful Bangkok, capital of Thailand. I would like to extend a warm welcome to you all. Now, we are excited to have you with us today for this event and to bring together some of the brightest minds in the field of geotechnical engineering. My name is Mathurat Yuthong from EIT Thailand, and I am honored to be a part of this incredible event. So, to officially commence our conference, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Apiniti Chotisankat, General Secretary of Thai Geotechnical Society, to be a master of ceremony. Please give a big round of applause to Professor Dr. Apiniti Chotisankat ค่ะ
Good morning, dear distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Apiniti Chotisankat, Secretary General of Thai Geotechnical Society and Professor in Geotechnical Engineering at SEAGC-AGSSEA University. I'm truly delighted to be here today as a moderator of the 21st Southeast Asian Geotechnical Conference and the 4th AGSSEA Conference. I can definitely sense a lot of great vibes here among us, belonging to the same geotechnical profession from different generations, prominent professors, academicians, professional engineers, and young students. We coming from different countries in the regions and other continents. And this is such a nice time to meet old friends, make new ones, and of course, to celebrate this important event together. First of all, I would like to invite our three prominent professors to be seated on stage. Firstly, I'd like to invite Professor Varakorn Mairiang, the chairman of the conference. Please, Professor. Secondly, I'd like to invite Professor K. Jane Cho, the Vice President of the International Society of Soil Mechanics and Geotechnical Engineering for Asia. And thirdly, I'd like to invite Professor Suttisak Soraram, the President of Southeast Asian Geotechnical Society, as well as Thai Geotechnical Society. Please welcome. Thank you very much, professors. So first of all, I'd like to invite Professor Varakorn Mairiang, the chairman of the conference, to give a welcome speech. Please on the podium, Professor.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as the chairman of the organizing committee, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the 21st Southeast Asian Geotechnical Conference and the 4th Association of Geotechnical Societies in Southeast Asia Conference. This conference is organized by Thai Geotechnical Society and Southeast Asia Geotechnical Society under the support of Southeast Asia Geotechnical Society, okay, and the International Society of Soil Mechanics and Geotechnical Engineering, Geotechnical Engineering subcommittees of Engineering Institutes of Thailand, and also Professor Chai Muktapan Foundations. Okay. It is the great joy effort for Thai geotechnical engineers from the teaching faculties of several universities, practicing engineers, government officers, and supporting company. I would say that most of them are young generations of Thai geotechnical engineers. Many thanks to our sponsors for your support to make this conference possible. The conference will last for 3 days. It includes keynote, the technical presentations, field trip, and exhibitions. The organizing committee select the venue at the center point of Bangkok for your convenience, relax, and enjoy during the conference. I delight to welcome you all keynote lecturer, participants, the guests, exhibitors, and supporting team. Please enjoy 3 days during the conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Varakon, for a very warm welcoming speech to our guests. Next, I would like to invite Professor K. Jian Cho, Vice President of the International Society of Soil Mechanics for Asia, to give a congratulatory speech. Please, over to you now, please.
Okay, thank you. Morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to be here. On behalf of ISSMG, I would like to welcome you, and also I would like to acknowledge the organizing committee and SEAGS and TGS who made this event possible. As I know, there are more than maybe around 100 papers and 40 to 50 exhibitors. As you can see from the hallway, this is a very successful event. However, I'm going to use a PowerPoint to briefly introduce the status of ISSMG at this moment. I hope that you can spend a few time to check the website of the ISSMG if you have time. Actually, the ISSMG has a new structure after the new board took the seat early last year. We have more like a committee to handle the operation of ISSMG. And I think for us, we should spend more time to see what we can get from ISSMG since we are the members. There are resources available in our website, including webinar, like a virtual university with a lot of teaching materials so you can apply in your training, or you can self-learning. Also, there are a lot of awards and funding we could apply. I think Asian society is too shy to apply. I found that not people in the award committee, so I volunteered to join the award committee. So I found that there are a lot of awards we could apply. So I encourage you to check the rules for those awards and try to prepare your material to apply for it. So this is also a benefit to be a member. So now let's move on to my short presentation. Okay, you can see this is a list of the activities I attended in 2023 and plan to attend in 2024. You can see after I take the seats, I encourage the affiliate societies to have like a bilateral and a multilateral activities. You can see the first one is in 2023 in January, is KGS and Korean Society and Hong Kong Society. They have a first workshop, joint workshop in Yonsei University. And also we have Taiwan, Japan, and also Malaysia and Singapore. Right now they are going to have a second Singapore Malaysia joint conference in late this year. So this kind of bilateral, multilateral meeting make our activities more prosperous in our region. And also you can see attended the Geo-Sakura, Geo-Mandu, and also other like technical workshop in Taipei and also in Suzhou, China. And you can see that also in August I attended the 17th ARC, and after the ARC I got a chance to visit Kyrgyzstan for another very special event because they seldom have this kind of international level event. And also after that I visited the Philippines, attend their annual meeting and also give like an honor lecture, Dr. Salvato Memorial Honor Lecture. And in September, there's another conference, GeoCase, in Bandung, Indonesia. And then finally, this event. After this event, I still have 3 more events to attend by the end of this year. One in, I think in Japan and Singapore and Vietnam, Hanoi. Okay, so I try my best to visit all the affiliate societies in the Asian region. I would like to point out that as a VP Asia, I have to attend the board meeting maybe every 3 months. I'm very proud to give the report because I can tell that the Asian region is the most prosperous area at this moment. So we have a lot of things to report. So this is also revealed that we have a lot of challenges and opportunities in our field. Okay, show you some pictures. This is the Singapore-Malaysian bilateral event in Puchang. And this is IGC 2022 in Kochi in India. And the first Korean-Hong Kong joint workshop in Yonsei University, Seoul. Geo-Mandu in Nepal. And 17 ARC, the event after 17 ARC. And also GeoCase in Bandung, Indonesia. Okay, thank you for your attention. I would like to thank you for your attending, and I hope you enjoy the meeting and you enjoy the stay in Bangkok. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Cho, for congratulations speech and very informative presentation. It's always nice to keep connected to the international society. So thank you again, Professor. And next, I would like to invite Professor Suthisak Soraram to give an opening speech for the conference. Please, Professor.
Thank you very much, Professor Apiniti. Dr. Mo, the founder of our society, Professor Nielsen, Dr. Brand, the teacher of our teachers, Professor Varakon, the chairman of the organizing committee from TGS, Professor Chow Albert, the VP of Asia at the SMGE. Also, I'd like to mention about our past president, Dr. Uy, Professor K.Y. Yong, and then Professor Nopadon is over there. okay, our immediate past president of Southeast Asia Geotechnical Society. Also, we have friends from other society, the president of Indonesia Society, Geotechnical Society, Singapore, somewhere over there. Yes. And then the Philippines, of course, Professor Mark. Yeah, thanks for coming. And then we also have somewhere in here the president of Korean Society, Geotechnical Society, and then Malaysia as well. Okay, so thank you for you all for coming. So this is the 21st, as everyone knows, Southeast Asian Geotechnical Society. We held a conference every 4 years, so you can imagine that how long this conference is. And also the fourth of the Association of Geotechnical in Southeast Asia conference. Let me bring you back to time. This is the first Southeast Asian Geotechnical Conference in 1967. Yeah, I wasn't born yet at that time. Yeah, about 56 years ago. And you may guess that the gentleman on the far right is Dr. Mo. Is it you? That's Dr. Mo, our founder. And then I'm sorry that the rest of the Western guys, maybe Professor Nielsen, you are in there? Yeah, he recognized that. Yes. 56 years ago, yeah, it's quite a long time, right? And then yeah, we came a long way, start from Southeast Asian Geotechnical Society, and later on, in each country, they have their own society. So that's why for like Indonesia, Singapore, they have their own. So that's why we have Association of Geotechnical Society in Southeast Asia. Okay, and then you can see that right now, we came to the 21st and the fourth conference. As Professor Varagon mentioned, that we have 2-day programs of the technical session and also the keynote. I also would like to mention the name of our keynote here, Professor Intaratana from Australia, Mr. Yamasaki, somewhere here, maybe he's coming, over there, okay? And then we also have our senior professor here, like Professor Bergado, and then some other professor from Thai University also join here. The total number of participants informally is about 400 participants, so quite a lot. And then we have about 27 sponsors, and then thanks for all the sponsors, and you can see many booths outside. And basically, I like to thank the Thai Geotechnical Society to organize this event nicely, and also the Engineering Institute of Thailand. And then we also have the government support from Department of Highway, Department of Rural Work, EGAT, Engineering Electrical Generating Authority of Thailand, Water Work Authority, Royal Irrigation Department, and then Civil Work Department. And these are the list of our sponsors that thank you very much. And then I'm hope that all the participants will visit their booths and then enjoy the discussion. Okay. Finally, I would like to give the special thanks to Professor Apiniti, our General Secretary of TGS, and also Dr. Jeff Shao. Shao, where are you? Over there, yeah, Jeff, thank you very much, okay, for working hard, and also all our committee in Thai Geotechnical Society. Thank you very much. And then after this, all three of us will start the opening ceremony with some brag things over there behind that you will know later on, that's what it is. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Sutisak, for the opening speech. That impressively concludes the opening speech. I'm definitely looking forward to the more interesting discussion. And actually, as Dr. Sutisak has said, we're going to move on to the countdown sessions of the ceremony this morning. So I think I'm going to give the stage back to our MC. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Professor Dr. Apiniti Chotisankat, for being an honor moderator, and the three guys here. That was truly inspiring. Your words have set the tone for an exciting and informative conference ahead. We are incredibly fortunate to have such a distinguished guest at this event. Okay, now this is the time that we're waiting for. You guys, are you ready to be a witness for a miracle moment? Are you ready? I can't hear anyone. Once again, are you ready? Okay. I will begin a countdown process to mark down the official opening ceremony of the 21st Southeast Asian Geotechnical Conference and the 4th Association of Geotechnical Society in Southeast Asia Conference. Please put your hand on the monitor. Okay. May I ask everyone here to help me count down together? Shall we? Shall we? Yeah, okay. Let's start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wow. Thank you, everyone. Please, Thank you, Professor Warakor Mairiang, Chairman of the Organizing Committee, Professor K. Jianshu, Vice President of International Society of Soil Mechanics and Geotechnical Engineering, and Association Professor Dr. Suthisak Sararam, President of Southern Asian Geotechnical Conference and Thai Geotechnical Society. Now, during a couple minutes for our staff to set up the stage, I would like to give more information of the conference. As you see, you can attend the exhibition outside. There are a gathering of a lot of top-notch companies in the geotechnical to present a brand new product and incredible innovation. So don't miss. So who can name a company which join our exhibition? Who can name? Please tell me. Which company join our exhibition outside? มีใครทราบบ้างไหมคะว่ามีบริษัทไหนจัด exhibition อยู่ด้านนอกบ้างไม่ได้ยินเลยอย่าแย่งกันตอบค่ะ ไม่มีเลยค่ะโอเค so don't miss the exhibition outside okay well we are ready to move to the next session ladies and gentlemen for engineer the price of success is hard work dedication to the job at hand and the determination that whether we win or lose we have applied the best of ourselves to the task at hand. Well, an honor plaque dedication ceremony is a special occasion that celebrates the achievement and excellence of the Southeast Asian Geotechnical Society. This is a time to honor the hard work, dedication, and talent of our distinguished member. From now on, we are delighted to have Dr. Jeff Chow with us today to deliver a speech for an honor plaque dedication ceremony. Please join me to welcome Dr. Jeff Chow.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have gathered here for a truly special occasion. We are going to honor two outstanding individuals. The first one is Professor Armugan Balasubramanian. I hope I pronounced his name right. Now I understand why everyone calls him Professor Bala. And the second one is Dr. Wee Tak Ong. That was a lot easier for me to pronounce your name, Dr. Wee. Thank you for having a short name. So, well, their contributions have left an indelible mark on the Southeast Asian Geotechnical Society and also the Association of Geotechnical Society in Southeast Asia. So let's begin by acknowledging Professor Bala. Professor Bala has been a true driving force in our community. He joined AIT in 1973. His primary research interest is related to engineering behavior of the Bangkok soft clay. Many of the attendees here are indeed his students who have benefited significantly from Professor Bala. Professor Bala was the Secretary General of SEA in 1973 and then became the President of SEA in 1985. He devoted his time in helping the society with various activities, including our Geotechnical Engineering Journal, seminars, conferences, and promoting our society. So his tireless efforts has been nothing short of extraordinary. So today we are very honored to present an appreciation plaque to Professor Bala in recognition of his outstanding contributions. Unfortunately, Professor Bala cannot attend this special occasion in person. He has sent Dr. Irwin to receive this plaque on his behalf. So let's welcome Dr. Irwin to the stage to receive this well-deserved award for Professor Bala, please.
May I invite Professor Dr. Suthisak Soralam to present an honor plaque to Dr. Owen or represent Professor Bala. Okay, and hold on for a minute for the photographer. Thank you, Dr. Irwin, or represent Professor Bala Subbaramanian.
Now let's shift our focus to Dr. Wee. Dr. Wee has made a profound impact on the development of our society. He held the position of SEA's president in 1993 to 1996, and then become a president again in 2010 to 2016. In addition to his efforts in helping the growth of our society, much like Professor Bala, Dr. Wee also served as the chief editor for our Geotechnical Engineering Society. He devoted many years to improve our journal. It is our great pleasure to present Dr. Wee with this plaque as a symbol of our deep appreciation. So now I would like to invite Dr. Wee to the stage to receive this well-deserved recognition. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Suthisak will stay on stage for a while. And thank you, Dr. Jeff Shaw, for being a moderator. And we will take a 3-shot start. With the first one, may I invite Dr. Irwin again on the stage. Okay. And Professor Varagor Mairiang on the stage too. And Professor Chow, President of International Society for Soil, Mechanical and Geotechnical Engineering. Okay, this is the first shot. Please keep smiling. Hold on for a while for our photographer. This is such a honor time and miracle moment for all members. You guys, please look. You can look at every single camera shot, and the big one, in the big one behind the room. Okay, thank you. Please stay here. And the second shot, may I invite Association of Geotechnical Society in Southeast Asia committee members on the stage to take a group shot. Okay, hold on for another shot without the plug. Okay, the second shot, may I invite Association of Geotechnical Society in Southeast Asia committee member on the stage to join our group shot. Okay. Let's celebrate for our distinguished engineering members. Okay. Oh, look at the man in the black guy for this camera. And the behind of the end of the room is the big one. Keep smiling, I know you. Okay, thank you all of you. And the last shot, may I invite Thai Geotechnical Society EIT committee member on the stage. Thai Geotechnical Society EIT committee member on the stage. At the last shot. Please wait them for our member. Please hold on for a while. We have a lot of camera and a lot of member. Okay. Wow, this is a miracle moment again. This is our member from Thai Geotechnical Society, from EIT committee. ขอบคุณค่ะ ขอบคุณทุกท่านค่ะ Thank you everyone. Thank you you guys for being here. Let's make this conference a memorable and productive experience. Enjoy the conference. Thank you. During a couple minutes for our staff to set up the stage for the next session, I would like to give you more information about the conference. The conference is organized by Thai Geotechnical Society and Southeast Asia Geotechnical Society under the auspices of Association of Geotechnical Society in Southeast Asia, an international society for soil mechanics and geotechnical engineering. Our geotechnical colleagues in the region and many of other places around the world will have the unique opportunity to meet and exchange ideas as well as establish a strong networking and friendship. And this year, conference theme is Innovation in Geotechnical Engineering, Building a Sustainable Future. It emphasizes the importance of the embracing innovative solutions and sustainable practice in geotechnical engineering to create a better world for future generations. Throughout the conference, we will explore this theme in depth through various presentations, workshops, and discussion. Okay, I think the stage will be ready, so we move to the next session. Well, from now on, we will move to the next session. May I invite Dr. Jeff and Dr. Richard Mo to be a honor moderator for the keynote session. Please join us to welcome.
Good morning, everyone, again. My name is Jeff Chow with Asian Institute of Technology.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Richard Mo. I'm the chairman of Mo & Associates Incorporated, a member of the MA Group Consulting Engineers.
Richard and I will be the MCs for this special occasion, the keynote speech section today. Today we are very fortunate to have Dr. Zaji Mo, Professor John D. Nelson, and Dr. Edward Brand as our keynote speakers. First, I would like to invite Dr. Mo to the stage, please. Next, I would like to invite Professor Nelson to the stage, please. All right, let me give a very brief introduction about three of them. Let me start with Dr. Mo. Dr. Mo joined AIT from 1965 to 1976. During his time at AIT, he developed a postgraduate program in geotechnical engineering, which is one of the first programs in the Southeast Asia. And he is the founder of the Southeast Asian Geotechnical Society and then also the Association of Geotechnical Societies in Southeast Asia. Through his leadership and guidance, the term Bangkok clay played a significant role in the research of the behavior of soft clay, among with other well-known soil deposits worldwide. In 1976, Dr. Mo transitioned to the field of consulting and founded his own company, Mo & Associates, in Taiwan, which has become a very well-known consulting firm in Asia and Southeast Asia. Professor Nelson joined AIT in 1968 as an assistant professor and then became an associate professor in 1971. During his time at AIT, he developed a program in soil dynamics and field operations. He was a pioneer in the study of shear strengths of clay, field instrumentations in clay, and vibration of foundations. In 1973, Professor Nelson returned to the United States and joined Colorado State University. At CSU, he focused his research on expansive soils and tailings and mine waste management. He is the primary author of a textbook titled Foundation Engineering for Expansive Soils. Dr. Brand joined AIT in 1969 as an associate professor and then became a full professor in 1975. He served as the president of the Southeast Asian Geotechnical Society from 1980 to 1982. Dr. Brand has delivered lectures at numerous universities and professional organizations worldwide. He is a co-author of the textbook titled Soft Clay Engineering, Developments in Geotechnical Engineering. He is also a pioneer in the field of land subsidence and groundwater pumping.
And I would like to add a few more words in the introduction of these three professional engineers. I myself had the privilege to join with my father, Dr. Mo, in many associations, conferences, seminars in Taiwan and around the world. So since young, I got to know Dr. Nelson and Dr. Brand. And to me, they are not just professional engineers in the academia and industry, but as well as a great mentor to me. So from them, I learned about the importance of technical excellence depth and the greatness of embracing the academia and industry collaboration and development, and their persistence in driving forward their visions for the capacity building of the geotechnical engineering in and around Southeast Asia, if not part of the world. So it's my greatest pleasure to be with Dr. Jeff here in part of the big geotechnical engineering family, and looking forward to listening to their talk about their experiences.
Thank you, Richard. While Dr. Mo, Professor Nelson, and Dr. Brand were at AIT, they established an AIT test site to evaluate the behavior of Bangkok's soft clay. They were the pioneers who worked on several projects in Bangkok and developed the fundamental principles that geotechnical engineers still benefit from today. So today we are very fortunate to be able to invite them to share their experience from their early days at AIT. So let's give them a big round of applause to welcome them. So may I invite Dr. Mo to give us to say a few words for us.
Mr. Chairman, and all colleagues in geotechnical engineering, as well as in other fields related to geotechnical engineering. Actually, geotechnical engineering is not just a single discipline, because we have touched the past geology, we have to deal with the current problems, and there are a lot of things we cannot do it in a very scientific manner, and many of these things depend on our judgment, experience, and effort. I say it is important that we treat geotechnical problems not just like testing a soil. The testing soil, the result means a lot. You can interpret it in many different ways, and you can result in many different designs. So geotechnical engineering, to me at least, actually is an art, not science, not engineering, but involve a lot of human judgment and appreciation of the problems. So in the early days, I have some slides here, I don't know, well, anyway, when I came to AIT, that time it was still Seattle Graduate School of Engineering. The school had two major disciplines. One is structure, the other was water. So we have the structure element, the water element, but nothing related. These structures have to be built on soil. So that time, in 1967, I was recruited by the Seattle Graduate School of Engineering to come to Bangkok to develop the geotechnical engineering. Since then, I think the AIT geotechnical program, after so many years, now is well known in the world. It's not only just for Southeast Asia. We have published a lot of papers, we have made a lot of conferences, and the contact with the entire world. Because geotechnical engineering is not just that you read the news, you read the paper, you understand everything. It has to put in a lot of judgment, a lot of experience in order to resolve the problems and reach the best solution. I think that's all I want to say, and it's really a pleasure to see all my friends here, and it's been, although I'm 92 years old, I'm still working from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And this is the one way to accumulate experience from problem solving, or to get really your hand dirty to get into the problems. And I hope all of you will continue to work, never talk about retirement. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mo. Now may I invite Professor Nelson to give us a speech.
Well, good morning, everybody. I appreciate the opportunity to be invited to be a guest speaker here at this wonderful conference. It's always a pleasure to see my two colleagues, Dr. Mo and Dr. Brand. The three of us worked together very closely for 5 years. I came to AIT in 1968. Prior to that, I had been working for 6 years on lunar soils and worked on helping to design the footprint for the lunar lander. I went from the moon to Bangkok. I went from lunar soil to Bangkok clay. This was the beginning of my academic career. I learned a lot. And so I think that the three of us developed a lot of the state of knowledge in geotechnical engineering starting in 1968. Here are the three of us. This is the only picture I could find of us all together. This was at a conference, I think at one of the Asian regional conferences in 1991. There's Dr. Mo standing next to Kun Watani. Watani Chern was our secretary. She kept Dr. Brand and Dr. Mo and I in check. And then there's Dr. Brand and me. Those were the first of the geotechnical program. After I left in 1973, Dr. Bala, who is there on the left, he replaced took over my place. When I arrived at AIT, one of the most important things was that Dr. Mo had already more or less set out the general focus of our program. And the main focus of our program dealt with defining what or learning about the properties of Bangkok clay. There were three main zones of Bangkok clay. There was weathered Bangkok clay, and there was soft Bangkok clay, and there was stiff Bangkok clay. The weathered Bangkok clay took about the upper 2 meters of the soil, had been influenced a lot by weathering and rainfall and agricultural activities, and it underwent a lot of physical chemical changes and exhibited sort of the properties of a somewhat over-consolidated clay. Then we had classical soft Bangkok clay. Soft Bangkok clay was a normally consolidated clay. We measured the shear strength, drained and undrained, and the consolidation characteristics. There's a picture of a triaxial cell. Is this a pointer? Triaxial cell and consolidation cell. And our Bible was Lamb and Whitman. I think that is the best textbook that has ever been written on soil mechanics and geotechnical engineering. I taught out of that when I went to CSU as well. And every semester when I taught that, I got a new copy of the next edition. I have about 10 copies of that book on my bookshelves. If you, as a geotechnical engineer, do not have a copy of that book on your shelf, you should get one. You can still buy it through Amazon. Then there was stiff Bangkok clay, which underlaid the soft Bangkok clay, and it was heavily over-consolidated, I think due to desiccation over the years. And we again measured the shear strength characteristics of that and consolidation. We also had other areas of research. We did a lot of research on soil sampling and disturbance of soil samples during sampling. We used the split spoon and compared that with the shear strength measured from thin wall samplers. We had cylindrical Shelby tubes. We even tried using square thin wall samplers, and we tried using them. We could twist those and use them sort of as a vane shear device. However, we found that the square sampler, for various reasons, caused more disturbance of the sample than the cylindrical ones. We also did some undisturbed sampling. We took bulk samples, we dug trenches, and we took 1 foot square samples to the lab and cut soil samples out of that and tested them. Those, of course, produced the very least amount of disturbance. One of the things we did, or soil sampling, we had a drill rig. We bought a drill rig while I was there, and I was in charge of the drill rig and the drilling crew. We had a 3-man crew, one of the best drilling crews that I have ever worked with. We drilled about 70 holes at one time along Rama 1 Road for a water supply tumble. Maybe it was Rama 4 Road. I think it was Rama 4 Road. We also did some work with foundations under Wat Po, the Temple of the Reclining Buddha. One area that I was asked to develop was in soil dynamics. I had done a lot of work in my previous employment at the IIT Research Institute in Chicago, but that was mainly blast effects, propagation of blast stress waves. But that was not appropriate here. And so we started working on foundation vibrations. The book by Richard Halden Woods had just come out. It was a great textbook on foundation vibrations. We built a a vibrator here. You can see we constructed that out of 2 eccentric weights and drove it with a pulley. And then we had a foundation there. We measured the vibrations. We measured the propagation of vibrations away from the foundation. We measured ways of dampening them and digging trenches to isolate the foundation, the vibrations. So we did quite a bit of work in that area. We also did some full-scale test embankments. One we called RESPATE. That I thought we had some discussion over what that stood for. We couldn't remember now. It's been 50 years. But Dr. Brand finally put it together. RESPATE stands for Research and Evaluation of Soil Behavior at AIT, RESPATE. And that was also our test fund. We also did some test embankments at Nong Ngu Hau, the airport. Those were done in 1973. I think the airport opened around 2007, something like that. It took about 30 years after our test embankments before they finally built the airport. Here is another picture of the 3 of us in our early days, right in the beginning when we were starting the test embankment at AIT out at Rang Sit. That was in about 1969. The man in the center there taking the shovel and doing the groundbreaking was the president, Dr. Milton E. Bender, one of the best presidents that AIT has ever had. And then you see Dr. Brand on the left, Dr. Mo in the middle, and I'm off to the right there. I had more hair in those days. Dr. Brand and Dr. Mo have better genes than me. They kept their hair. Also, on the right here, right there, that man was the more or less the director of, he took care of the soil, the geotechnical laboratory. I can't remember his name. Do you remember his name? Who was in charge of the lab at AIT? The time, the lab, I don't know. Well, we're all getting old. And then the man taking pictures there, or over on the right is Mr. Brian Heath. He's one of those 2 people. He was in charge of all the electrical stuff and things at AIT. And the man directly behind, I can't remember who that was. When we did the test embankment, we built an instrumentation shed, and we had the monks come out and bless the site. And Dr. Brand is going to talk more about those 2 projects. I want to mention some of the international significance of the early research that we did. In this textbook by Holtz and Novak, they have specific reference to some of our Bangkok clay. And you'll see down there that the figure, it's from the paper by Mo, Brand, and Nelson. One thing about that textbook was they had a homework problem in one of the chapters that dealt with Bangkok clay. I taught out of that book a couple of semesters at CSU, and I always was sure to assign that homework problem to the students to do. After I went to CSU, I'll mention that a little later, I worked on a tailings dam failure up in Canada near an area called Mount Polly. One of the things that dam failed along a layer of soft glacial clay. And one of the things that we needed in evaluating why the dam failed was typical values of undrained strength. It's very difficult to find a good set of data on undrained strength in the literature. I think there were only about 3, maybe 4, maybe 2 or 3. One of the most important ones was a set of undrained strength data from Bangkok clay. After AIT, I moved to Colorado State University. Colorado State University, many of you probably don't know, but that was when the CETO Graduate School was first formed as an idea of the Deputy Prime Minister from Thailand at that time and the U.S. government under the Agency for International Development. And they decided to have a graduate school in Asia so that students wouldn't have to go to the Western world to study for a PhD and a master's degree. So they looked around for somebody to do it, and they went to a couple of universities who weren't really interested. And they went to Colorado State University, and there was a man there by the name of Maury Albertson. He was one of the people who helped found the Peace Corps for the United States. And he was on the faculty at CSU. And I knew Maury very well. He was a mentor of mine when I went back there. And I can just see them when they asked him, "Would you be interested in starting a graduate school of engineering in Bangkok?" His response, I'm sure, was, "Oh yes, we can do that." And he did it. When I went to Colorado State, I became program leader and had to develop a geotechnical engineering program. I was the head of the civil engineering department. I retired from CSU in 2007. And then I started an engineering consulting company, Engineering Analytics. I'm almost retired now, but I'm still working on one tailings dam failure. The areas of research that I built our program on was expansive soil and tailings dams. I wrote actually 2 books on expansive soils. This is the most recent one, Foundation Engineering for Expansive Soils. And I don't know if you can read it, but the authors are me. The second author is Dr. Chow, Dr. Kwoche Jeff Chow, who is now the head of the Civil Engineering Department at AIT. He's one of the students of which I'm most proud, and he followed in my footsteps all the way to Bangkok. So that was that. Then I decided that when I was no longer going to be doing engineering, I needed to have something else to do. So about 25 years ago, my wife and I moved out to a small ranch outside of Fort Collins in Colorado, and we started raising Texas Longhorn cattle. This is one of my favorite bulls. His name was Caballero Don Juan, which means Cowboy Casanova in English. You can see our brand on the side of him there. It's Clover Bloom Ranch. So anyway, that's what I have to say about the. Incidentally, I did want to mention too that I came back to Bangkok in '92 and worked on developing the National Technological University, NTU Thailand, which was a satellite-based university. And Dr. Subin Punkian helped me a great deal on that. And when he became chairman of the board of trustees at AIT, he also put me on the board as a vice chairman. And I finished my second term in January of 2020, and this is the first time I've been back since then. Dr. Mo has also been on that board of trustees at AIT. So that is what I have to say, and thank you all for listening to me Khop Kun Krap.
Thank you, Professor Nelson. Now, may I invite Dr. Brand to give us a speech, please.
I'm going to start by saying what my colleagues have not said. We were a very small, happy team together for 5 years. I think we were pretty productive. And it was a long time ago. I'm going to show you some slides. And if I tell you, firstly, I have done no technical work of any kind for more than 20 years, and all the slides I'm going to show you are at least 50 years old, you will know that I had great difficulty in finding them, and I'm not entirely sure I know exactly what each of them is. I'll just start by showing what most of you probably know. This is the Chao Phraya plane taken from an aircraft. It's flat and featureless, and it has the river going through it. And from north to south, this is a cross-section, a geological cross-section, showing that there's no bedrock for hundreds of meters. It's a series of aquifers interspersed usually with clay layers. And at the surface is our famous Bangkok clay, which at the coast is about 20 meters deep. And it thins out on this picture from right to left as you go north. And it was the Bangkok clay that we spent a lot of time working on. Here are some of the properties of the Bangkok clay: high moisture content, low strength, with, you can see the weathering crust as the clay ceases from, at depth, is normally consolidated. And then at the surface, it's been weathered, which makes it, of course, a little bit stronger. These are cone resistance and local friction from the Dutch cone. Incidentally, I noticed that there is a company called Dutch Cone here. I think I was responsible for introducing the Dutch cone to Thailand, because I had worked for 2 years in the Netherlands, and we were using the Dutch cone for just about everything. And I think it's extremely useful in soft clay conditions. The AIT test bund is an interesting one. It was the first major field project that we did at AIT. Of course, we did a massive amount of site investigation, and in 1968, I think it was decided that AIT would move north to Rangsit, and 5.3 kilometers of embankment and drainage channel was to be built round the site that, of course, had been paddy field, and therefore this diked area was to be made into AIT. Here's a sketch showing the embankment and the parallel drainage channel, and this shows all the black dots are all the piezometers we installed before we built this test section. A vast amount of basic instrumentation was put into the ground before the embankment and channel were built. We had two kinds of settlement stakes, one that went on the surface, and the other one that was screwed into the ground at various levels by these men here. I don't quite know why. But the most important instrumentation probably that we put in were a variety of piezometers, many of them, and they were all of high air entry specification. They were first put into these little plastic bags surrounded by sand. They were saturated, and then they were put into the ground in this way. They were sealed with bentonite balls. We had these lovely girls making balls for weeks, I think. And here's what it looked like, the ground area for the test embankment, what it looked like before the embankment was actually built. You can see the various pieces of instrumentation sticking out of the ground, and you can see our instrument house. And it so happens, here's my colleague Zachi Mo, with his back to you, faced by John Nelson. In the instrument house that housed Borden gauges and mercury manometers for the piezometers. The embankment was built by, of course, excavating the drainage channel by hand, and you can see it was all women who did the excavation. They carried the soft clay to build the embankment. We had some primitive means of compaction, as you see here, but we also had some small rollers as well. This slide shows the embankment almost completed, and it was left like this for a period of 10 months, what we called phased 1, to measure the settlements and to measure the pore pressures throughout almost 1 year. After that 1 year, we used a drag line on the drainage channel to load the embankment very quickly. In fact, we loaded it in 4 days. And here it is, just in fact, as it has failed. I've got a rather good picture right here with John Nelson with his hand on the failure surface. You can see the failure surface. We collected a massive amount of information from this trial embankment in terms of pore pressures as it was constructed, pore pressures for a long period of time afterwards, and of course, on the failure surface. The failure surface had to be determined by further investigation, of course. Now, a short time after, a couple of years after, in fact, in early 1973, the Thai government had decided it would build its new airport at Bang Pli, which is, as you know, southeast of Bangkok, and it would build it on a site that was called Nong Nu Hao, which translated means cobra swamp. And this is what it looked like when we were asked by Northrop Airport Development Corporation, who had been employed by the Thai government to design the airport. AIT was asked to do a series of test sections to provide them with the geotechnical information they needed for the design of the airport. Not just test sections, of course. There was also a massive amount of site investigation, drilling, in situ testing, laboratory testing, and analysis. this all went with these test sections. The test section on the top of this slide is, first of all, a 100-meter section of the design embankment as they proposed it, and that was 2.9 meters high. Attached to that is the long embankment that decreases in height down to 0.5 meter on the right-hand side. And then the embankment in the middle, which I think is shown as 5, the embankment in the middle there. Anyway, the embankment in the middle was an embankment built rapidly to failure. And then below on the right-hand side was an excavation built rapidly to failure. The proposal we made to Northrop was there should be a total of 6 test sections, but in fact only 4 were ever built. And these are the 4. There's the site with just our instrument house before any instruments were put in. All the same kind of instrumentation was put into this trial embankment, this first trial embankment, as we used on the AIT site. So there were in fact here 53 piezometers were put into this one, and 65 settlement points. On this site, we were lucky in that we were provided with a diked working area. And we had a contractor who came and built the trial embankments using sand that was in fact spread rapidly by hand. It was also properly watered and compacted. There it is alongside one of our small instrument houses, almost complete to its height of 2.9 meters. After a period of about 20 days of building the embankment, we stopped because a crack formed along the top, and within a period of about 12 hours, the embankment failed. So this is the embankment built rapidly to failure. At the same time, we constructed the drainage channel that was to be built rapidly to failure as well. Here you see the women, again, this was done all by hand. There it is finished, and to our surprise, it did not fail to a depth of 4 meters. We had expected it to fail at a depth of less than 4 meters, and at that stage there was very heavy rainfall, and in no time at all, as you'll see, it filled with water. So what we did was we pumped out the water, and as we pumped out the water, so the excavation failed. Now, I certainly cannot here go into the geotechnics of these trial sections. As I told you, I hadn't done any technical work for more than 20 years, so I probably couldn't remember quite what we did anyway, but I can tell you we did a massive amount of laboratory testing of every conceivable kind on the soft Bangkok clay. And also every conceivable kind of analysis, that is to say, using all the different measurements of measuring strength, all the available methods of analysis, and we came up with a vast array, of course, of information. And a lot of this clearly was done by the graduate students as part of their thesis work. I won't bother with that. Of course, we learned a great deal. And here are some of the recommendations that, if you like, we would now give to anybody who was having to build on soft clay. But beyond that, I just want to mention that we didn't only work on soft clay, and John mentioned the reclining Buddha at Wat Po. Here's another project we did. We worked on the Ta Chang Bridge, and we worked on this that was, I think, a very interesting project that John in particular will remember, Phra Pathom Chedi. If you know the Chedi, you'll know it's very big indeed, and I believe it's the largest Chedi in the world, in fact. And we did a very interesting project to investigate the foundations of the Chedi that was in some distress many years ago. But the last thing I want to mention is a project, in fact, that AIT, the Geotechnical Division, worked on in late 1970s, and that was the subsidence of Bangkok. The phreatic levels from the surface in the layer just of soft clay had been declining for many years. And as a result, of course, the soft clay was compressing. And when we did the project on subsidence, we drilled to several hundred meters, in fact, well past the soft clay, through several aquifers and through, therefore, other clay layers. And we discovered that not only was the soft clay compressing, but of course, the whole profile was compressing. The project lasted for several years. It was a very complex piece of work, and I think an excellent piece of work. And it ended up having the government take action to prevent further deep well pumping, which was causing the phreatic level drops, and therefore stopped the dreadful subsidence of Bangkok that had been going on for many years and that caused seasonal flooding in lots of parts of the city. So I think that was a very important project. Time makes me stop there, but I must pay tribute to the many of AIT's former students who, of course, contributed very much to some of these projects. And I must thank the organizing committee for permitting us three old men subjecting you to our brief historic ramblings. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Brand. I'm sorry, as we are running out of time, so we have no question and answer section. However, Richard insisted to ask one question, so I'll have him talk about his question.
Yeah. Dr. Mo, Dr. Nelson, Dr. Brand, if allowed, just for one question. If there's one word to give to the young engineers, what would that be from the three of you, separately? Yeah.
I think very simple. First of all, geotechnical engineers should not be afraid of dirt. You have to be hands-on. And I know these days, many engineers use very fancy mathematical models, but no one really proved these mathematical models, these simplifications, fits the actual field conditions. I think one thing I encourage all the geotechnical students and young engineers, don't be afraid of dirt. Dirt is our gold. You have to understand the soil, then you can try to resolve the problems. Because even that, soil is a natural deposit. You don't know the real history. You don't know the real variation of loading, unloading, and so on. And a lot of things are your judgment, your guess, how you get a judgment, experience. To get hand dirty, to understand the soil, then you can make proper and appropriate judgment.
Well, I will keep my answer much shorter. I think my advice is to work hard, learn the basic principles of geotechnical engineering, and keep up to date with the state of knowledge. Go to conferences, write papers, and do your own research so that you know what the state of knowledge is.
I'm afraid it's a subject on which any professional could speak for a long time, but I will just say, work with good people.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Mo, Professor Nelson, and Dr. Brand. So before we close our section, let's give our outstanding speakers another big hand. Thank you very much. So.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Shep and Dr. Moore, for to be our honor moderator. And now, may I invite Professor Warakon Mairiang to present a special gift from our heart to our distinguished guests. First of all, for Dr. Sa Siang Mo. Thank you for your inspiring word of our conference. Your speech was the perfect blend of funny and moving. So many thanks for sharing so much of your experience, Journal. At the end, Dr. Edward Brand. Thank you, Professor Warakon Mairiang. And thank you again for your inspiring word for our conference. Your speech was the perfect blend of funny and moving. And thank a lot for sharing so much your personal journey with us. In your presentation, your guys are our inspiration. So, thank you. Thank you, our three distinguished guests, and please help our guests down off the stage. That's a memorable moment. Well, we already finished morning session. Thank all of you to join us from the beginning. Now we will take a break for 15 minutes. Please enjoy the conference. And the outside, we have a break for all of you. Thank you.